Well, TGIF, good morning, everybody, and welcome once again for another edition of the Coffee Hour. It's Friday, and we're so glad to have you aboard with us for this Friday. We're here every Friday at this time. We involve you in conversation and have a whole lot of fun. We get together. And those of you who are just joining us for the first time, well, this is how it goes. We're going to throw out a topic, any topic, just casual conversation. And of course, you'd like to join in. You want to talk to us as we talk back to you. It's okay too. All you have to do is just let your fingers do the walking, type in, and I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and anything that you have to say. It's all free exchange, and we're so glad that you're along with us to experience that. All of you who've been around for forever with us, well, you already know the protocol. There's no use talking, right? Except to say that we're coming to you from three different places. All of you who have been with us for the first time, we come to you from three different places. We come on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram Live. And I see people coming in right now, and we just want to say good hi and good morning to each and every one of you. Now, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, what we would like you to do is tag all of your friends right now. As we go through the preliminary of the show, we want you to tag them and let them in on the fun and action and see what you discovered. And maybe, perhaps, if they like what they see, like what they hear, they'll come along with us each week as well. We want you to make it your weekly habit on this broadcast. And you don't need a union card, any kind of form of membership or anything of that kind. All you have to do is just drop in each week. And you're just as important as people who've been with us forever. So keep that in mind. And those of you who are up and at 'em, some of you are different time zones, right? Some people are ready to go to bed, depending on where you're watching the show. We're all over the world. We're global. So there's no place on God's green earth that you can go and not find us. All you have to do is just apply yourself and tune in on one of the three places that I told you about, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and you will find us there. Now, a lot of people who maybe are in my time zone, I'm Eastern. So we're coming to you live from New York City, so that's Eastern time. And a lot of people are up and at 'em and at work right now. Now, those of you who are in that category, you're working right now, and you may be at a time where this is the coffee time for you, like what they call the coffee break, the 15-minute coffee break. And I know you do that every day. I know they used to do that in the corporate world. I don't know if they still do it today. I'm not in the corporate world and haven't been for years. But just for the sake of argument, you do get that break. They give you that 15-minute break, maybe a 20-minute break. Take that break and spend it at your computer. And you could watch the show and relax while you are just taking that coffee and those sips of coffee and just relax. Now, when the coffee break is over, you'll still be at your desk, you'll still be at your computer, and you can watch and multitask at the same time. In other words, you could watch and, of course, watch the show and do your work at the same time. But the first priority is getting that work done because the weekend is coming up. You don't want to leave anything behind. You don't want any phone calls over the weekend from your supervisor saying, hey, you know something, you missed this, you missed that. I need you to come in and clean that up before the weekend is over. You don't want that, especially if you have the weekend off, right? You don't want anyone to disturb your weekend. And so that's why I want to remind you to just make that your work your priority. Now, those of you who are watching, we're going to be here for a whole hour. And if you can't stay for the whole entire hour, we would appreciate any time you can spare with us. All right. And I see people who are idled, who watch the show and they don't want to say anything, but that's okay too. That's okay. All you have to do is just be there. You know, a lot of people don't want to engage in conversation, but we would love to hear from you. We would love for you to say hi and we could say hi back to you. We can do that. But later on in the program, I'll give you my telephone number, my email address, where you can get in contact with me personally if you have any questions about the show or anything of that sort. So here we are. And I just want to remind you too, ladies and gentlemen, all of the thoughts, the expressions, the opinions, and ideas that we express on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the opinions or the view of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any broadcast facility that we're on. So with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's lift our cups together. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. Yesterday I had a cold. If you were watching me last night on Talkback Live, I belt out a couple of coughs, and I may do that this morning because each day it gets better now. Yesterday I had a cold, and the day before it was worse. I feel better now. I had my green lemon tea and lozenges, like the Hall's lozenges, and I was just nursing myself, getting myself back to normal. And I feel better today. And if I blurt out a cough or two, it's not going to be as much as it was yesterday. But it wasn't all of that bad yesterday, but it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So we thank you again for being along with us. Now, those of you who are going to chime in the conversation, if I see you out there, please, we'd like to get you involved. So wherever you are around the world in the different parts of the country, give us your weather forecast, right? Let us know what's the weather like in your area. And this way we can kind of figure out what it's like and what it may be like for your weekend weather-wise, and we can convey that to other people and share all of that information. That's not mandatory, but that's something like I ask you to do. And if you don't, well, the most important thing is that you're here. And of course, we really appreciate that tremendously. Later on in the program, as we do our regular thing, we have sports coming up. Usually we link with Brian Kemp from Charlotte, North Carolina. We were with him last night. He was on the show with us last night. He did his sports, but something suddenly came up, which happens. And he called me early this morning and told me that he won't be able to make it in live, but he did send me information. Hey, listen, you know what? That's good. When I get heads up, I like that. I get a heads up, and not having to second guess. So he sent me his sports for the day, and I will be doing sports for him later on when that time comes out. So thank you, Brian. We'll take care of all of that for you. And thank you for the heads up. And so that's the way it goes. Also, later on in the program, before the show is over, we are going to give you all of those great movies that you love so much. All of those great movies that you love so much from Turner Classic Movies. Now, you know, as well as I do, they're the best movies to watch. The black and whites, they're the best movies to watch. They bring back great memories too. So I have a couple of movies that I want to add to your bucket list of movies to watch over the weekend, because I like to help you out. A lot of people do a lot of things, but some people like to catch up on movies. And I just have a couple that I think you may be interested in, and we'll have that for you later on. We're going to be expecting Teen Idol from the 1950s. What a wonderful guy he is. I had him on my radio show a couple of years back, maybe about a year or so ago. February, as a matter of fact. February 23rd. I'm good with the dates here. February 23rd, I had him on my radio show, The Blue Cafe. And he's going to be with us this morning for a few minutes. Like I said, he's a teen idol of the 1950s, drifted on to the 60s, and maybe he's still a teen idol, still has the voice going. Remember him, those of you who are baby boomers and beyond, remember Jimmy Clanton with all of those big hits that he had, like Just a Dream and Go Jimmy Go and Venus and Blue Jeans and all of that. Well, he's going to be right here on the show. We're going to link up with him. He's coming out, and we're going to link up to Pennsylvania this morning. And we're going to be talking to him for a few minutes. It's always great to talk to Jimmy. He has so many great stories to tell. I just wanted to talk to him too about some of the projects that he's doing now. He's working on now, and some of the songs that he had written over the years, and some of the songs that he's written for the present. We're going to talk to him later on. That's later on in the program. Jimmy Clanton, right here on the Coffee Hour. Okay, like I said, those of you who want to engage in the conversation here, we would be delighted to have you to do that. And then we ask you to also give us your weather forecast. Now, those of you who live in the New York City area, don't worry about it. Get it out of your mind. You know why? because I will deliver the weather forecast from New York City. I, I will keep you abreast of the New York City weather forecast. And speaking of that, it's 57 degrees right now here in New York. Now, listen, in New York, we had some rain last night, and it was expected, which in a way I was kind of like disappointed because it rained out the Yankees last night, you know, but the Yankees will be playing today. We'll tell you more about that later in sports. So we'll tell you more about that later. That's coming up too. But the weather, it all cleared out. The rain subsided. It's all cleared out. The sun is out. Plenty of light. New day is dawning, sunny and bright. Now, where have I heard those words before? Okay, so here's what the weather looks like for the weekend. It's a good one. It's a good weekend for you to do whatever you want to do. Make sure you have your jackets and coats because, you know, it's that kind of weather. But it's going to be mainly sunny skies today. We'll have a high 68 degrees. Winds would be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, it will be clear skies. We'll have a low 49 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For Saturday, tomorrow, your favorite day, right? You can sit back, relax, do what you want to do. Well, that's good too, because it's going to be sunny skies, high 69, winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And Saturday night will be clear skies if you're going out on the town, but make sure while you leave your umbrellas home, take the jacket with you. It's going to be kind of cool out there. And we'll have lows around 51 degrees, most of the clear skies, and winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But when we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, now Sunday's a day of rest for a lot of people. You know, you're off to church, you want to prepare dinner or something like that, people coming over for Sunday brunch or whatever it is, you know, it's not going to be bad at all. No wet weather in the forecast for tomorrow, for Sunday, I should say. It's going to be sunshine and clouds mixed together, no rain. We'll have a high 64 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. So that's our weather. And repeating our current temperature here in New York City, we have 57 degrees. And we hope that your weather is just as good as ours. And like I said, if you're going to engage in conversation here, you know, give us your weather forecast. We would love to know that. We'd like to have a chance to know what it's like in your area as far as the weather is concerned. Okay, now you know we're also in the midst of Hispanic History Month. Hispanic History Month. Now, on the show last night, I mentioned that next week would be the last day, or be the last week next week. But it's my era. It's my era. Tomorrow is the final day of Hispanic History Month. So we have today and tomorrow to indulge in whatever we want to indulge in to celebrate this historical event of Hispanic History Month, a proud time to celebrate for all of my Latin friends in the Latin community, and they're going to wrap it up tomorrow. So I would imagine with all of the climax of the whole thought of celebrating this, I'm pretty sure they're going to up the game a bit and start doing a lot of celebrations. That's for you to find out in your local areas, wherever you are, where are the events happening to wrap up Hispanic History Month. So that's what we're in the midst of. So I just wanted to bring that out there. Also, for all of you proactive women, and I love you for this, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's what we're celebrating right now. It started early this month. And we just want to throw that out there for you to understand that it's very important that you uphold this particular, I don't want to say event, but this particular thing that goes on to support women's and their breast cancer awareness. So that's what we celebrate Breast Cancer Month. And a lot of people, I should have done it myself. Maybe I'll do it next week, is find me a little yellow ribbon and put it on my lapel to support, because I do support that. And I think every man should support a woman in this endeavor too, because we all have women in our lives. Men, all of us men have women in our lives. We have we have wives, we have girlfriends, we have nieces, we have cousins, of the female persuasion, and we want to make sure they're all healthy, and we want to support them in this endeavor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's an opportunity for all of us, men and women, to understand the importance of this, and I do. And I really wish that men were as proactive as women when it comes to cancer, because with the men, we have the prostate cancer. And I'm an advocate for that, being a survivor of that, that, men should go out and take care of themselves, go out and check themselves out, go to their urologist, make sure they take frequent visits to their urologist, make sure they stay on top of their PSA, make sure it stays at a zero level, and everything is fine. And I wish men would do that. And they should become a time when we have Men's Cancer Awareness Month, like Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And then the women could support us like we support them. And maybe we could discover a little blue ribbons, cross ribbons on our lapel, something like that, Maybe we can start something like that, man. But us men, we're macho guys. Nothing can happen. We'll live forever. We're men. We're men. That's what we are. Nothing happens to us. Not true. And it's not bad. And it's nothing girlish about a man pampering himself. You want to look good. You want to feel good. And of course, you want to be healthy. And so we invite you to let's get together. Maybe we can perform a crusade, start a crusade going with men and prostate cancer awareness. I think we like that. And if it's already started, it's not out there in the forefront. I don't see it. I've never seen it, but I would love to see it. And I'm going to look into it myself, maybe bond with other men and find out if we can get started with some of that. Women can do it. Men can do it. Angela Lansbury of Murder, She Wrote. You know about her. We all loved her. We all know that show. We all seen that show. It's still in reruns right now as we speak. She starred in Murder, She Wrote. That was her own show. Also starred in Beauty and the Beast. She died peacefully in her sleep at home in Los Angeles on Tuesday, just 5 days shy of her 97th birthday. So we send our condolences out to Angela Lansbury's friends, her colleagues, all the people who worked with her on the movie sets. She was all over. She made the rounds. She was on TV. She was on Broadway. She hit the big screen. She was all over. And maybe you have a favorite Angela Lansbury kind of movie that you like. I know one of my favorite movies that I like, and this goes back to 1961. You've probably seen it. And they remade the movie too, but I'm not really into remake movies. But it was a movie called The Manchurian Candidate, and it starred Frank Sinatra. Angela Lansbury played a role. She played a devious witch mother, but she played the part very well. It was a good movie. Frank Sinatra. Also, Larry Harvey was into the movie. The late Larry Harvey and Janet Leigh, of course. They were all in that movie. It's a great movie. If you can get a shot at it, maybe you want to go on YouTube at some point and check out the movie. Maybe it's on there. You can check it out in its fullness. And I think you'll like the movie, The Manchurian Candidate. That was one of my favorite Angela Lansbury movies. So, but again, we just want to say all of our condolences, and we're going to miss her. She left us a big legacy, so she's never going to be forgotten. And that's one of the good things about if a person can leave a good legacy, particularly if they're entertainment, like Angela, and she left something behind for all of us to enjoy for the rest of our days here. And for people who weren't even born yet, they'll get to discover who she is, and they'll follow her movies. And of course, whether you're an actor or a singer or a musician or whatever, you could always leave a legacy behind for someone to enjoy. It's always good to be remembered, you know. You don't want to leave this earth not being remembered. You know, you want to be remembered for something that you did in your art. Otherwise, it goes down the drain. And this is why we have recordings, record recordings, and movies and TV shows, and all of these things, because once they're out there, they're put out there, and they're out there forever to enjoy. And now that we have the internet going along, we know that it's going to be out there forever, because what you put online stays out forever. That's why you ought to put your best foot forward each time. You put your best foot forward out there and do the best you can. Okay. As I said, Brian Camp usually comes in with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He is off today, and but he was kind enough to leave us information, his sports take. So I've got some stuff that I want to convey to you that he left us with us. We'll start with the NBA, the National Basketball Association roster of female referees continues to grow. Cheryl Forrest and Danica Moshe, and they have been promoted to the level of full-time staff officials. The NBA now has 8 women in the full-time referee level, and the most the league has ever been. That's the most there have ever been, ever had at one time. And it's always good, and I explained to Brian last night, it's a good thing to see women excel in these positions that men once had on their own. It's no longer a man's world. I don't think it ever was God's world. Okay, and the NFL and the NFL playoffs agreed to update the league's concussion protocol. Under the new protocol, players will be unable to complete it if they are experiencing a thing what they call ataxia, which describes a lack of coordination, and that's caused by poor muscle control, which means the player will be prohibited from returning to the game and will receive a follow-up care required by the protocol. Okay, in Las Vegas Raiders, okay, guy by the name of Devont Adams has been charged with a misdemeanor assault for shoving a credential media worker. And the man shoved by Adam, identified by police as Ryan Zelby. Ryan Zelby suffered a whiplash and a headache and a possible minor concussion from the incident, according to the records. Zelby was working for ESPN's Monday Night Football as a freelance photographer, and if convicted, Adams will face jail term of up to 6 months or a fine of $1,000. Keep your hands off. In the NLB, the Major League Baseball, and this is something that you ought to know, being that the weather is up to date now. Game 2 of the divisional series today starts at 1 p.m. at Yankee Stadium, so you check your local time and listings for that. Okay, on this, excuse me, I told you I would cough a little bit, so excuse me again while I shoot up. Okay, moving right along. On this day, October 14th in 1862, the seller James Clanton, he ruptured a bladder hitting a home run. He died on this day. And in 1908, we're going way back in time, folks, 1908, upset over a seating arrangement at the World Series sports reporters from a group called Baseball Writers Association of America. Back in 1968, NL expansion draft, Expos and Padres chooses 30 players each. In 1972, the Oakland A's, Gene Terrence, is the first to a homer in the first World Series at bats game. I'm sorry. And that was game 1 versus the Reds. And the score was 3-2. In 1972, future Hall of Famer, Willie Mays. We all know Willie Mays, right? We all know him and we all love him. His last career hit at the New York Mets. He was with the Mets when he beat the A's 10-7 at game 2 in the World Series. In 1976, Chris Chandler's 9th inning leadoff walk-off home run for the New York Yankees. That's the 30th pennant. Okay, here's something that's historical. 1977, singer Linda Ronstadt, national anthem. She sung the national anthem in Game 3 of the World Series. She was criticized for casual attire. These days, they don't criticize for casual attire because you can go up on stage with ripped jeans and no one will care. But with all of that, she was ranked by the Washington Examiner as the second best rendition ever at the sports event, at any sporting event, as a matter of fact. In 1978, New York Yankees Reggie Jackson causes World Series controversy, interference with a throw, and interfered with a throw. And I changed the page here. A throw at bat defeated off his hip, deflected off his hip. So that was something that goes back in time. Okay, and we go to the year 2020. NFL cancels Pro Bowl games. They did that, right? They canceled the Pro Bowl games scheduled for January 31st, 2021 due to the COVID pandemic. What a year that was, wasn't it, folks? Okay, birthdays in 1910. And we're celebrating, I assume we're celebrating the birthdays of today, 1910 on this day. John Wooten of the NCAA, legendary coach who won 10 championships, was born on this day in Hall, Indiana. 1946, Al Oliver, Major League Baseball outfielder, was born in Portsmouth, Ohio. 1947, Charlie Joyner, the NFL player. He was born in Many, and that's what it says, Many, Louisiana. I never heard of Many, Louisiana. I hope that's right. It's spelled right, M-A-N-Y, Many, Louisiana. Okay, 1967. Stephen or Stephen Smith, however you want to pronounce it, or however you want to call it, depending on where you're from. Stephen or Stephen Smith, American journalist of ESPN, was born in Hollis, Queens on this day. And that's it on today's World of Sports. Brian, thank you so much for providing that information for me. We really appreciate that. Brian also left some movies, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to add on what he gave me. We're going to add on when we get to talking about the movies and my picks of the week. Okay, we'll do all of that, and that's coming up right now. So if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for doing so. And you're joining us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And my name is Frank Allan. We're going to be with you until the top of the hour. That's where we're going to be here. And of course, you're always welcome to chime in conversation. We will always recognize you because we're live. We're right here with you. We're live and right here with you, and we're going to be with you for the duration. And we hope that you tell your friends and your family about us. Please do that. And all you have to do, if you're watching us on Facebook right now, the thing to do is tag all of your friends. Now, we're just almost a half hour into the show. And you call and you tag your friends, right? And let them know that we're on the air right now. And let them know that you could be part of this show. Because again, we come from 3 different places, however you want to watch us. And you watch us on Facebook, which we're live right now. We're on YouTube and Instagram. I want to say hello to all of you guys on Instagram who are out there with us. Thank you so much for being along with us. And thank you guys, even though you don't want to indulge in conversation, I have some information that I like to relay to you for those of you who like to get in touch with me personally and kind of interact with me personally and not publicly, because a lot of people are shy. They don't want the whole wide world to hear what they're talking about. You can get in touch with me. Now, I have an email address and a telephone number, and we want you to get involved with us, all right? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to call, all right? But first, I'll give you my email address. The email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, let me go back to the email address for a minute. I just want to clear out something. At frankallenprod@aol.com, well, please, and I say this all the time, is because Allan is spelled a lot of ways. So I want you to get it the right way. This way you will get in touch with me, because if you spell it wrong, I'll never get your email. The last name is spelled Allan. Got that? Allan. And prod is PROD. That's short for Productions, Frank Allan Productions. So that's Frank Allen Prod, ALLAN, Frank Allen Prod @AOL.com. That's Frank Allen Prod @AOL.com. The number again is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. We will be glad to have you part of the show. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about the show, if you're an entertainer or something, or some kind of local group that you're promoting, I'm here. We can talk to you. You can be proactive in that, and we can talk to you about that. Anything, or even if you just want to say hi, hello, which a lot of people do, and get in touch with that way. And we'll be glad to have you aboard. Jimmy Clanton is going to be with us in just a few minutes, right here on the show. I'm always glad to have him. I love Jimmy. Loved him for years, you know. As a boy, I used to watch him, listen to him, and watch his movies on the Allan Freed. He had the Allan Freed movies, and I never thought in my wildest dreams I would ever hook up with a guy like Jimmy Clanton. But he's going to be with us. And those of you who are baby boomers and are watching the show right now, you want to stay along and watch. You'll be here for about a few minutes, you know, not long in the show. You know, we don't want to take up much of his time. A little guy like me, a big guy like him, you know, we don't want to take up all of his time, but he'll be here in just a few minutes. And again, please, all of you who are on, it's very important to us that you do this. All of you people who watch us on Instagram, all right, keep following us. And for those of you who watch us on YouTube, what we want you to do is to subscribe to us. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button there. If you're on YouTube right now, there's a button there right now. You says subscribe. Hit that button. It's a free button. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay a dime for anything. All you have to do is hit that button. That will get you in touch with us. That will let you know that whenever we come on live, or whenever we post a video or some sort like that, it will notify you and let you know. And all you have to do is hit that notification button, and it will take you right to the site. And you can see everything you're doing, or everything that we're doing. You can see it all. And a lot of people have contact with us, giving us feedback on what we're doing. New subscribers come in, and I like that. I really appreciate that. Tell your friends to subscribe to. And I get a lot of feedback on a documentary that I did years ago. I think it was in 2010, as a matter of fact, 2010. I did a documentary on Allan Freed. I didn't know it was going to take off as it did. And I get so many, you go online, you'll see it, it's gotten so many hits, so many followers. I couldn't believe it, but it wasn't about me. It was about Allan Freed. People who enjoyed Allan Freed. And that was a little half-hour documentary that I did. I was so proud of it, because I wanted to be part of the Allan Freed business. Although I never met the man, I used to listen to his radio shows as a kid. Thing I was always peed off about is that my mom and dad got to meet Allan Freed, and I didn't. And here I am, the guy that was responsible for me, of course, indirectly, for getting into radio. He was the reason why I got into radio. And by listening to his shows, there were so many things I wanted to do as a kid. The first and foremost I wanted to do, I wanted to be a Baptist minister. Would you believe that? I don't think they will have me now, but I wanted to be a Baptist minister. And then I wanted to be a temptation. And then I wanted to be an actor. And then I wanted to be a talk show host, which here I am. And I wanted to be a radio disc jockey, which I did. And so when I heard Allan Fried on the air, and I was 5 and 6 years old, and I was old enough to understand music, And when I heard him on the radio, I said, yeah, that's who I want to be. That's what I want to do. And it just so happens that's how it turned out. So anyway, to make a long story short, the documentary I did, it was called, by the way, it's called Moondog Allan Fried. And when the show is over, you can go on YouTube and you can check it out for yourself. It's a half-hour documentary. It's called Moondog Allan Fried. And I just wanted to do something, even though I never met the man. I just wanted to be part of the Allan Fried business. And that was my way of making a contribution to the Allan Fried business. And I never had a chance to meet his son at that particular time when I was trying to get in touch with him, Lance, and his daughter, Allan. There was no way, I guess they just didn't do social media or anyway. There was no email I couldn't find. Maybe there is now, and maybe I'll try later. Maybe I'll even have him on the show if I can find him. And then we'll see what happens. But that's what I want to do. I wanted to be part of the Allan Fried business, and that was my way of connecting. And I'm so glad I did it. And I'm so glad the people who did so many likes and did so many comments about the documentary. I want to thank you for sharing that with me. A lot of people could say, yes, I like what you're doing, but you never hear it. I never get the feedback, but I'm glad that it's for the good of YouTube. They give you the feedback without they actually talking to you, because they have their likes on and you could see their likes and their unlikes, whatever it is, you could see it. And it was a tremendous amount, tremendous. And if you don't believe me, go on and check it out for yourself. And I really appreciate it. Okay, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. And as I said, later on in the program, I am going to give you the movies of this week. I've got movies this week for all of you who love those Turner Classic movies. Those Turner Classic movies, those black and white movies. Now, a lot of you may be home on the weekend this weekend and you want to do something other than barbecue, because I think those days are over for the time being. Depending on where you are, you might have good weather someplace, unless, of course, you're living in the Caribbean, where the weather is always warm and you can do anything you want outdoors. But we're wrapping everything outdoor, the outdoor activities, especially where I am. It's all over here where I am in New York. And here on the East Coast, but you know, down south, the weather's still a little warmer, and I guess warm enough to still, you know, break out the grill and things like that. But now we're looking forward to the weather, and it's flu season. You already know that, so I hope that you are proactive about yourselves and taking your flu shots, and situations like that. You don't want to wind up, because the weather is so changeable, as you already see, you know, and I'm living proof of that, because I just wound up with a cold. It's coming along better, folks, and I thank you so much for that, for asking. It's coming along a little better, and but we want you to be proactive as well, and take all of those great nutrients in your bodies, however you take your vitamins. Some people like to take supplements. Some people like to be holistic, and some people like to take the natural way, just by eating. Vitamins, the big vitamins are in our foods. And if you know your food groups and you know what kind of vitamins are there, then you know better. And you can do it that way. Any way you can to make it easy for yourself. And it'll be great. Okay, all of you baby boomers, do you remember songs like Just a Dream, Go Jimmy Go. Do you remember songs like Venus and Blue Jean? Well, that was done by a man named Jimmy Clanton. Jimmy Clanton worked, he was a teen idol back in the 50s. And he also did music in the 60s as well. And he is my guest. And he is here.
Can't hear you.
And there he is. What are you going to say, Jimmy? You there? Jimmy, are you there?
No volume.
He doesn't hear me. His mic is open.
I love technology.
You love technology. Can you hear me, Jimmy? I don't think Jimmy could hear me. His mic is on. His mic is on. Let's see. Let's see. Are you there?
Okay.
Okay. His mic is on. Let's see. I'm going to take the liberty of turning his mic on myself.
There we go.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. His mic is on. We're going to try to get, you can see him on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's right. Let's see. His mic is on because I could see it.
I was afraid of with this computer.
We're trying to find out what the deal is. We're trying to find out what the deal is. We'll get in touch with them. Folks, I guess you could see him there, right? Let's see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jimmy, but I don't know if you can hear me.
Can't hear you, Frank.
Okay.
I don't know if it's my computer. Sandy's working on it.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with Jimmy Clanton,
I
ladies.
can't hear you.
Okay.
I read your lips.
I know you can read my lips.
But you can hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear
You
you.
want me to put headphones on?
Do you have headphones? Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll
All
help.
right, hold on a second.
Okay, we're going to talk to Jimmy Clanton. He's going to be with us in just a few.
Hello?
Yeah.
I just unhooked the headphones.
Okay. We're going to talk just
Nothing.
minutes. Okay. We did a dress rehearsal. We did a dress rehearsal with Jimmy.
Sorry.
And it was good. It was perfect. It worked out perfect. When I did the dress rehearsal with Sam,
I can't hear you, Frank.
he can't hear me. He still can't hear me. Okay, let's see. How about that? Is that good? Is that good? Still can't hear me. Oh boy. Okay.
No.
His
You
mic.
can't hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you, and your mic is on because every time you talk, I can see it register. I can hear you. I can hear you.
As you can see, I had posted for you the meeting ID number and the passcode.
Okay.
So all you have to do is go on zoom.com.
She's playing a voice thing that I sent her a long time ago.
I'm just connected now. I'm off. I don't know what's going on over here. I screwed up, I think.
I'll bring you on over here.
All right.
We'll see what happens. While they get it together, let me know when you can hear me, Jimmy. While we get it together, we're going to talk about our birthdays this week. Birthdays here today. We've got singer, actor Usher, who's 44 today, and we have Natalie Maines of the Chicks, used to be known as the Dixie Chicks. She's 48. George Floyd, we already know him. He's no longer with us. He was the one that was murdered. He's 49. He would have been 49 today. R&B singer Karen White is 57 today. Actor, the late Harry Anderson, who played on Night Court, would have been 70. Singer Cliff Richard is 82. Fashion designer Ralph Lauren is 83. Actor Roger Moore is 95. And you have former U.S. Surgeon General C. Everett Koop would have been 106 years old. Those are the birthdays of today. And so we wanted to get that out of the way just in case we
You
don't
may have to do it over the phone.
So Jimmy still doesn't hear me, and his mic is on, and I'm just figuring it out and trying to figure out. And I am there. I am there. You are there.
4,
And let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening.
2,
Okay.
W.
We did it so perfect. We had a this morning we had a rehearsal. We had I guess what they call it, dress rehearsal. Sandy, if you could hear me, maybe you want to boot up and come back again, all over again. I tell you what, if Sandy can hear me, go on.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. If you want to go on, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Maybe, I don't know.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
I'll put volume.
We're having a problem hooking up, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see what we can do. Boy. And this is the longest interview that I've done, and I've never, and it's not getting over. Let's see what happens. Let's see where, oh gosh, let's see.
On a Wednesday morning, taking you right through your work day. And I want to remind you to check out.
She's playing one of my shows. She's playing one of my shows. Oh God. Everything is coming through, but the
You want to sit down?
everything is coming through, but the right thing. Okay, but ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, let me check out another source here and see what's happening. I'll check out another source. We're doing everything we can. It worked beautifully this morning.
7,
It worked
3,
this morning. I don't know what's
0,
going on.
8,
Let's see.
4, 9, 8, 1, 8.
Here's his join.
Let's see. Now, I don't know. If I unmute this, that will give me a feedback. No, I don't know. You know, yeah, so if I unmute that, that'll give me a
Oh,
feedback.
crap.
I am trying to find out. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he's there.
Oh, Lord.
I am out of control with this. It's not.
9, 7, 3, 0, 8, 4.
See, she's trying to, I think she's trying to log back on and see what we can do.
9, 8,
Maybe
1, 8.
source. She's trying another source. So I'm keeping you informed, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they're going through another source or something. I know they can see me, so I'm waving. I'm waving there. Let's see what she does. That's Sandy Weeks, ladies and gentlemen. She's the lady that made this all.
No volume.
She was responsible for all of this.
And it says we have almost 85%.
So
So it's just somewhere, we don't know.
talking, but let's see what we did.
Can't hear you, Frank.
Okay, I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. We've got like 10 minutes in the show to go. Oh boy, this is.
We don't know what we're doing wrong. We have nobody to help us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had the.
If I could read lips, it would help.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, my friend.
Okay, look,
You let
guys.
me in. I'm ready to be let in on the other side. And you can go over to the other computer.
Okay.
I've got it set up. He can go over to my computer.
Okay, whatever you can do.
Connected with him this morning here,
Yeah, if he lets me in.
and he heard you. You heard
Yeah,
him.
he can hear me.
I know, but
Okay.
you could hear him over here this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a treat though.
Yeah, this morning I did.
How come now you
I
can't?
don't know.
All right. And we've got 10 minutes, we've got a whole 10 minutes to go on the show. So while they're getting that together, let me give you the movies at least. All right, while they're getting that together, maybe this will help. We're going to tell you about the movies of the week. If you are into movies for the weekend, I've got some for you. Let's start with 1976 Network with Faye Dunaway and Peter Finch, and that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Rebel Without a Cause from 1955 with James Dean with Natalie Wood, and Natalie Wood and Sal Mineo, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday. That's today at 8:30 p.m. Now, these shows that I'm giving to you, they come back to back. And right after that, we have Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, and Donald O'Connor. And that's back in 1952. That's on Saturday at 12:15 a.m. Eastern. And we have The Apartment. But this one is on Sunday. That comes on, that's 1960 with Jack Lemmon, Fred McMurray, and Shirley MacLaine.
No,
And that's on Turner Classic Movies. And that's on
morning.
Sunday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And it's right there. Okay, so and we want to get all of that out of the way because we may not be able to do it while we're working on the situation right now. We might not be able to do it, but they're working on their end right now. And we're going to see what we can do.
Oh, geez.
And let's see. Okay.
What the heck?
And, you know, the mics are open here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Everything is here. Everything is copacetic.
This.
I understand. You want to sit down?
Okay. Okay, you all. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, we are,
9-7.
let me see. I'm going to try another one. They
7
just came on with another one.
3
I'm going to open up
0 8 4
and see.
9 8 1 8
And something else came.
4. Yeah.
Okay, something else came on. And let's see. Let's see what we got. They're still working on the problem on this side. Still working on the problem on this side. So we have to see.
Hello?
Yeah, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear
I
you.
can't hear you.
Can't hear me still.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, listen. I don't know if we're going to get through this, but maybe I will call you later on, Sam. I don't know if you can hear me, but I will call you later on after the show. What's going on with this? I am so sorry that this happened, and we're going to see if we can work on it for the future. Okay, we're going to see if we can work on it for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we tried it with Jimmy Clanton, and hold on a second. We've got something coming up here. All right. Okay. So anyway, I see Jimmy Clanton's now. And I see he's up there live. Okay. And let's see. Let's unmute his mic. Okay. Jimmy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I see you now, though.
How about your camera? Can we do that?
Yeah, Jimmy, sit down.
Can we get your camera on?
I'm trying.
Oh, what a place to have to do this.
Where's the camera?
You go down to the bottom where it says we have,
Start video.
yeah, and you see that camera icon. It has a cross over. There you go. I think you turned it on. Okay, you did. You did. There you go. You know what, Jimmy? I am going to go overtime with this show.
I can barely hear you. That's the problem now.
You know what? I am going to go overtime with this show. It's my show, and I'm going to go overtime because I work so hard.
That makes 3 of us.
I work so hard.
Okay.
I am going to go overtime with this show. All right.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay.
I am going to go overtime with this show because we finally got you. And those of you who are watching us, ladies and gentlemen, it is a coffee hour, which we're going to extend it a little longer today because now we have my friend Jimmy Clanton. Jimmy, how are you?
Actually, I'm doing well. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. How about yourself?
Listen, I just got over a cold and I'm trying to suppress the cough, drinking hot tea and with lemon and popping in halls for the vapor and all of that stuff, but I'm feeling better today.
I was up very late with a situation, so I'm kind of
Hungover.
hungover. I hope I don't look 110 because I'm only 84.
Jimmy, let's get into the meat of the show now.
Okay.
I've gone into this past week, as a matter of fact, which is really the reason why I called Sandy to say, do you think Jimmy would like to be on the show with me this week? Because I went on YouTube and I found some interesting music that you did. Particularly, there's a song, and I don't know, maybe you wrote this song, a song called Extraordinary Love.
Yes, I did write that. I'm very, very proud of that song.
Yeah. And you did that with a young lady by the name of Terry McPhail. Terry McPhail?
Chason.
Yeah, Kason.
Yeah, I sure did.
I saw the video. It was fantastic. The lyrics are great. And of course, it was another song that I love too called Lovin' Louisiana.
Yeah.
But if you're a local, you say Louisiana.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's about the song, Extraordinary Love.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song.
Well, going back several, I can talk as long as 30 minutes on one subject, so you're gonna have to cut me off if you want to go something else. I had a situation where I met a man named Pershing Wells who had a recording studio in his home, and he just put together a phenomenal studio, and the cost was very acceptable. And somebody said, you should go to Pershing and let him record a song. I had written Love in Louisiana. It's a long story. I wanted to write a song. I thought that if I was getting ready to do the last show of my career, my one-man show, where would I want it to be? And I thought I'd want it to be in Louisiana, which came about, by the way. And I said, I'd like to write a song about it. So I wrote a song about it. I tried it out at a big casino, and people went wild over the song, Love in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. So the guy in the band said, you should go to Pershing and you should record it there. And I thought, well, so I said, I'll take a chance. Well, what he did with that song, it just blew me away. It's just phenomenal. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to try another song. And the next thing I know, I decided to put together a 10-song CD. And I wanted to do something I'd never done before. I'm going to write a real bluesy song and record. I want to write a real gospel song because I'm a strong Christian. Mm-hmm. I want to write a kind of a Jimmy Buffett, easygoing type song. And then I thought, you know what? I want to write a smooth jazz love song. And because I knew Terry and because I loved her voice, I thought, what a great idea to write a smooth jazz a love song. And it's going to be about this girl that I'm married to and things. And I'm going to see about Terry wanting to do it. And so that's how that song came about. I told Terry about it, and she just flipped. She said, I would love to do this with you. And so I wrote that song because it was going to be in the category of a smooth jazz love song, which I never written before. And it really blew me away because that's one of the favorite songs that I've written that I'm really proud of.
Wow. How did you meet Terry?
Well, Pershing Wells had this studio down there in Houma, Louisiana. And there were several different people down there in music that loved music. And they all had their little different bands. And Terry had her own little band. And so she came in to record. And that's how he met her. And then he would hire her to do vocals with other people because she had such an incredible voice where she could do 3-part harmonies, is what we call overlapping. And so she agreed to do that. And so she did a lot on my different songs.
Mhm.
And that's how I met her. But then when I heard her individually, I thought, man, I love this girl's voice. And she was a therapist in a hospital. She had no aspirations to go on American Idol and all these other different stories. But to be honest with you, this girl's voice was phenomenal. But she didn't want to go any further than where she was down there.
Mhm.
And so that's how I got to meet her. And I loved her voice. Yeah.
So you wrote the song especially as a duet, and you didn't want to do it by yourself.
That is correct.
Oh.
It was written as a duet on purpose. Correct.
Because you don't do.
And I picked her specifically to do it with me.
Okay, because you don't do many in your career, over your careers, you didn't do many duets, right?
I did one in my early career with Marianne Mobley, because that was the record. I think the record company owner, he was afraid I might leave the label. So he kind of talked me into do this with this pretty girl, Marianne Mobley, who was Miss America at the time.
That's right.
So he and I, we did a song together called Walk Down the Aisle. But after that, we never did anything together. We never sang together. But technically, except for that 10 years ago when I did that CD, and I did 2 songs with Terry.
Mhm.
I did that, Love in Louisiana, and I wrote a country song called Don't Let Me Go on that same label, on that same album, CD. And I asked her to, because I wanted her to do another song with me. So she sang that with me called Don't Let Me Go.
Mhm.
But other than that, I've always been a single singer, single artist. Yeah.
That song that you did, "Loving Louisiana."
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it the way you say it, because you're the hometown boy, Louisiana,
Yeah.
and you say it on the song. I listened to the lyrics of that song. That's all about you.
Yeah, it is.
It's all about you, because
Yeah.
you mentioned Louisiana, and you mentioned
And you want to
elements.
hear a phenomenal story?
Yeah.
I wrote that about 19 years ago. Okay.
Really?
And yeah. And then once I recorded it, as the record says, where would I want my last show to be? Well, I did my last one-man show, which I said, on the stage of my high school where I had graduated from 63 years prior.
Mhm.
And I sang that song, and I teared up, because in the audience were all these high school friends of mine that I graduated with, and I'm on the stage of the very high school that I graduated from. And here I am doing my last one-man show of my career. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. Yeah. And I closed my show with that song.
We have a video available of
There's a video of that, by the way, that's available to people. It's the video of my last one-man show in Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We gotta check that out. You wear a lot of hats over the years in your entertainment status from the time you started and to this particular point. Not only are you an entertainer, but you are ordained minister now. A lot of people may not know that.
Well, that's interesting you said that. To really pinpoint it, in August of 1980, because of some things that have been going on in my life and even from my childhood, and I didn't realize I was disturbed about it, but I was, and it had to do with bad religion. Okay, I won't go into that.
Yeah.
All of this that I'm talking to you today about is in my autobiography, if I may say that.
That's
All my stories,
Yeah.
from my music, my ministry, everything up to date. And it's simply called, the title is Just a Dream, but it's just, the title is From Singer to Servant of God. And if I may say that autobiography is available at jimmyclanton.com. And I'll be glad to autograph it for anybody. It's also available at all the bookstores, Amazon.
But they don't get your autograph there.
But you get my autograph if you order through jimmyclanton.com. But anyway, in August 1980, I don't know how to put it any other way, but because of this distress in my soul, I heard a man talking about what Jesus Christ did on the cross on this TV program. I was so hardened because I thought Jesus had a big hammer and he wanted to hurt me all the time. And I found out that was a lie. And as I watched this man talk about what Jesus did on the cross, and I realized I received that revelation that he took my sins. He wanted me to be his child. And I cried out to him that night and I asked him to forgive me sins. I asked him to come into my heart. I asked him to be my savior and to take over my life. And I instantly had the manifestation, not only spiritually, but physically, of Almighty God coming into my my belly. I started heating up like 120 degrees. I started heating up, and then like a ball bearing on a string started coming up my leg physically. And so here's this heat pulsating. This ball bearing comes up, drops on my tongue, and my tongue is taken over. What I'm about to say, I didn't say it. I heard it as I was saying it. Not only do I ask you, come into my heart and be my savior, but be the Lord of my life. And at that moment, the next thing I know is I'm like helium. And the next thing I know, it's the next morning. And all I did was have a thought. I opened one eye, and my thought was this. I didn't say it. I thought, did all that really happen last night? Yes. And I jumped back. I said, God, is that you? Yes. I said, you're speaking to me? Yes. And the God of this universe spoke to me, and he has never stopped speaking to this very day.
When the last time we were together, which is about a year ago, and I'm very good with dates, it was February 23rd of 2021.
Wow.
You were on my radio show, The Blue Cafe, and the book, your autobiography, was in the making at that particular time. And back then, we were like in the middle, deep in the pandemic stage there. Yeah. But now everything is fine. The autobiography is out now, and you where can we get it again? You can go online.
You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. You can get it from jimmyclanton.com, my website, because if you order it through my website, you can there's a place where you can put down there, I want Jimmy to say such and such and such and such specifically, and I'll autograph it just that way.
Good. Do you do any? Are you going to do any book signings at this particular point, or we just?
If the publisher comes up with something like that, yes. But I don't have anything personally where I'm going to do that. Mostly it's as I do shows, and I'm still out doing shows here and there, and of course I do book signings there. But I let it kind of. I let the Spirit of God lead me with all of that. Yeah.
Okay. Your stage performances now. Where can we find you? What's coming up on the horizon as far
right now? It's interesting because right now, Sandy, can you help me?
Yeah.
Right now, what's coming up? I've got a show.
A Christmas show, December
the 5th, I think it is.
Okay.
First Saturday in December.
The first Saturday in December, I'm going to be over in New Jersey at the Count Basie Theater.
Oh.
Yeah. Kenny Vance is going to be there on that show with me.
December 3rd.
December the 3rd. Okay. A couple of other artists. And so they can find out that information really on my website, I guess.
No, but it will be.
It will be. And then I've got a couple of shows next year that are not set in concrete yet, but I will begin to mention those. But I have several things coming up next year.
A cruise in March.
What?
A cruise in March.
There is a rock and roll cruise that has just been solidified this morning that I'm going to be doing next year, leaving out of Los Angeles, going all the way down the west coast of Mexico. And I did one 2 years ago. I love that, and I'll be performing on that. There'll be information about that. So I've got a few things coming up next year, but I've really slowed down. I'll tell you the truth. I'm just not interested in going out every week or every month. I really want to take it a little more easy, and I want to do a little fishing. But
I bet.
I also do something that's interesting. This gentleman friend of mine, his name is Jim Werlow. He called me a couple of years ago. I didn't know he was following me on Facebook. But you know, I have a ministry page on Facebook, Jimmy Clanton Ministry. And come to find out, he would go over there and he would read my little nuggets that I'm a very good Bible teacher, by the way. And so he called me and he said, I am starting up a network, internet radio program, the network, he said, called surfcityradio.net. He said, but I would like to know if you'd be interested, he said, would you on Sunday, would you do a 30-minute preaching segment? And he said, and then we'll repeat it like 4 times a day. And I thought, you know, that's of the Lord, because he didn't teach me all that he's taught me over these 40 some odd years for me to just keep it to myself. He wants me to go out. And so I began to do that. So every Sunday, I preach a message to the people. They're always fresh messages that I get. And I've been doing that for 10 years, for 2 years. So if you go to surfcityradio.net on Sunday, depending on your channel, I know on the East Coast, it's 9, 12, 3, and 7. And so I preach on that. And so I love that. I love ministering. And so I preach on the surfcityradio.net every Sunday.
And you have
And-
preaching in areas, other preaching in churches.
And then I'm going to be doing other preaching in churches. I'm going to be preaching in Toledo, Ohio, in November. And then I'm on my Jimmy Clanton Ministry on Facebook. I preach on that. So my life is very filled and very active.
I thought maybe you were a mind reader or something, because I was going to ask you exactly. That was my next question about your radio ministry, and you beat me to it.
Well,
I have nothing else to say. Jimmy,
I'll tell you the interesting thing. I asked the Lord sometime back, probably about a year ago.
Mhm.
I said, do people want to hear all of these supernatural things that you've done through me in my life? And to be honest with you, some people, they feel intimidated, and there's some, unfortunately, that are just a little jealous. Well, you know, he never did those things for me. So I wanted to kind of lay back and not talk so much, you know, because I didn't know if they're interested. And here's what God told me. And this is for somebody specifically watching your program today. I feel that by the Spirit of God. I'm talking to somebody right now. You have things that God has done in your life, and you've laid back from telling that to others because you've had the attack of the enemy saying, well, you're just boasting. You're showing off. You don't need to talk about those things. And God wants me to tell you that you're doing exactly what Jimmy is going to say to you. I went through that. And there's a scripture over there where Jesus went on the shore. This demoniac was this man was filled with demons, and Jesus delivered him from them. And then Jesus is walking away, and the man who was delivered says, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. Now watch this now. And Jesus turned around, and this is for the person that I'm speaking to also. And Jesus turned around and he said this. He said, no, don't follow me. Go back to your hometown, quote, and tell the people the wonderful things that God has done for you. So see, I'm not preaching and I'm not boasting about myself. I am simply telling all the wonderful things that God has done for me and that he's willing to do for you as you follow him. That's for somebody specifically in your audience. I sense that.
Oh, good. That's very good. I hope someone caught on to that.
I
Jimmy,
would like for them to call you and let you know, and then you let me know. That came upon me strongly. That's called, in the gifts of the Spirit, it's called word of knowledge. It's where God tells you something about somebody. You don't know them. They've never said it to you, but it's for them. And there's no way I would have ever known it except by the Spirit of God. So I hope they will call you and let you know, and then you let me know.
Absolutely. Jimmy, it was nice as usual. It's always a pleasure to be.
Thank you, Frank.
And again, we want to talk about, again, just repeat one more time about your autobiography, where we can find it, and then that'll take care of it.
Amazon.
In the store at Jimmy.
It's all different. It's all over the different stores, but jimmyclanton.com. And also, all of my music is available still in CD form from my website, jimmyclanton.com. So
the name of the autobiography is?
It's Just a Dream, From Singer to Servant of God.
Thank you so much, Jimmy, for having
Thank you, Frank.
with us. And hopefully we'll talk soon again.
Okay.
Take care.
Anytime for you. I enjoyed doing interviews with you, Frank.
Likewise, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
Talk to you soon.
God bless you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you were listening to Jimmy Clanton. We went over time with the show because we had technical problems in the beginning of the show, and I could not go off the air. And it's a good thing that I take full control of this show, and I was able to do overtime. Jimmy Clanton, teenage idol from the 1950s, just a dream, just a dream. What a good pal he is. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be back here next week. Brian Camp will be along with me for more sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And you and I will be together once again. And also, you can catch me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp also with sports, and he'll bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, we'll indulge in conversation. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you all back here soon. Take care. Bye-bye.